Guys, this is Fun Automotive again, and in this video we're going to be tackling out this rear axle and getting it all freshly repainted and cleaned up. And I may do the same to the front lower control arms also, because they are very dirty and they need some attention, it looks like, and some of the subframe up front also can get redone too. So let me turn you guys around and show you guys what I mean. So I've already started a little bit. Got that diff a little bit cleaned up right there. All the way to this left side, driver's side of the axle. And it looks like somebody put glue in between this right here. I don't know what that's from. That's how it should look like. But here's the axle that was painted red halfway, so I'm just going over that. It's just a spring. I don't really have the time to be sanding it and fixing all that, so I'm just going to go over all that chippiness right there. But not looking too bad. Last time I did the gas tank cover, don't really need it. It's looking pretty good still. Still pretty clean. Not too bad. It's still dirty, it just needs another wipe down. I just took off a bunch of gear oil off of it from when the transfer case blew up. And the funny thing is, I actually found this piece right here, the shifter mechanism for the transfer case, shoved up behind this rear diff back here. Just shoved, laying in there like as if it blew up, and it just flew all the way over here and got stuck in between this part and the rear diff. It's been sitting there the whole time. It's funny. That thing just flew all the way over here and jammed up. So glad I found that, took care of that, took that out. But this paint's looking pretty nice on here, that's for sure. A bit surface rust that's been there since I bought it, but just went over all that before. I haven't gotten this side done, just some of this side so far. But looking good. Looking pretty good, I'd say. Show you guys when the finished product is done, and then we should work over there. I've got paint today also for the transfer case plate and the front oil pan skid plate also. So I'm going to be repainting those two plates today. Right now I'm just using your typical flat black, if you guys wanted to do it, ultra black. It does come out quite well, actually. So let me show you the paint I've got for the straight plates. I'm going to be running this on the straight plates. This is the Krylon Fusion All-in-One. I guess it's like a primer and paint, no peel guaranteed. So I'm going to be running this on the straight plate also. It's that type of silver. It's more than likely going to look like that underneath, but not too bad. Alright, I'm going to go over all this. Mainly just, there is some oil splats on there, but it's like dried oil or whatever. It's hard to take off. The paint goes right over it fine. It doesn't scratch off easy, so I'm just going to go over all that, I think. See what happens. Try to keep it off the upper control arm. This isn't gloss, this is flat, so all this needs to dry. And it should start looking good again. Not too bad. That all finished up. Not looking too bad though. Not looking too bad at all. Got a little bit right here. That's fine though. As time goes on, it'll get dirty and everything will blend together. I'm not worried about it. Receiver a little bit. Can't tell how it's coming out on camera because the sunlight's such glare. That's what the diff is looking like right there. Not the best, but got it a little bit more pretty. This thing was just nasty. Paint chipping off and all that stuff, so I had to give it a good wipe down, chip off what was already coming off, and give it a new paint job. I want to get a little bit up here. This sway bar. Following what they do, especially Dave and Fred's channel after they stopped making dirt every day. The dirt had shed, and I think that's his channel, or Fred, 4x Fred Williams. He's one of them, and we finish up all this. Well, I'm pretty much already done. This all taken care of. Pretty much all done. And I think, give you guys a good look at that. Looking pretty spectacular, I'd say myself. Removing the transfer case, skids plate, scrape plate, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to be removing this down, and then the front one up here, and getting those ready for prepped in paint. And I still have to do the lower control arms. I'm going to be repainting those, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, let's get to it. Millimeter also. Alright, didn't want to bore you guys with the washing process, but they are all washed up and drying Getting ready for that first coat of paint. Nice and shiny. Not really. I don't know if it comes off that way on camera, but yeah, they are a little bit shiny still from the last coat of paint that I actually put on. Look at all the scrape marks from all the usage and scratches from me and the past owner, or me and the past owner now, just doing their job. Look at that. Scrapage. Just, that's how you know these things really work, you know. All that scrapage right there. It's pretty good. I'm stoked that these things actually have scrape plates. Skid plates, whatever you want to call them. Because without the skid plates, you will get this. Just open transfer case. No plate under it at all. Just straight open transfer case. And straight open oil pan. Well, you do got that cross member still. That is the only thing protecting your oil pan. But with that plate on, it protects the front diff and somewhat of the oil pan, but mainly, I think it's mainly for that front differential up there. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. That front diff, it protects that because it bolts on the cross member, and then the subframe in the very front, it bolts on, 2 bolts on that side also. So, as you can see, that is pretty cool. So, diff protection / oil pan, more of a diff protection though, and then all transfer case protection back here, and of course we get a metal gas can plate right there. I don't know if you guys can see that. Well, obviously it's zoomed in your face, but all that right there is all gas can protection. So that is pretty dang cool if you ask me. Full on protection for this KJ. Full on protection. I am happy about that. It's still very dirty down here. Gotta wipe off this cross member a bit, but that tranny pan needs some loving. The oil pan does too. It's got a leak still coming from the power steering line that goes into it, that feeds into it. Or, I'm sorry, feeds out of it. The line coming out of the reservoir for the power steering, it just has a bad leak. I gotta go in there and tighten her up. It's kind of a bitch getting in there and tightening up things like that on this KJ because of the way they made it. Changing the oil can be a little odd, getting your hand back there to get that oil filter, but obviously I've had no problems with it over the years, so not too bad. Using that silver Krylon. Stuff's really flaky. It's gonna be pretty scrape plates. Really pretty. Dang, you gotta do a lot of coats just to get this thing.
You should have just got a regular grate.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't used Krylon in so many years.
Yeah, you should have bought this regular grate.
It's almost like this can's not shaking enough.
Yeah, just leave, that one's,
Yeah, that one looks
better
fine.
than what it was before.
Yeah. You gotta put it on really thick. Finish. Can't tell what it looks like on camera. It's too dark. There's a little brighter spots than others because I had to go really thick in those spots because this paint does not cover very well. I guess if you could see that, but. Right off. These front bolts in. Should be gravy. Just two short extensions. Have the right size. These are the first things in front of me. Alright. I think I'm going to pull the gloves off because they got oil on them. Now I got to touch the clean side.
People call me Elmo. You know who Elmo is? Elmo? Oh yeah. Elmo. Because it starts with the E. Emma. My name. Emily. M-E. Emery. Emma. Emmy. Elmo, Eminem.
Alright, got that first half on, just got to retighten that rear. We'll call it good on that. I got to clean off this dang oil I put all over it just now. Got to clean that all off. Get it nice and good looking again. There it is right there. Not too bad, not too bad. Let me go out and know what you guys think about that. Nice clean straight plate. I even repainted the lip underneath here with some flat black. I don't like using flat black to repaint the plastics because it doesn't look factory, but that was actually black, so I figured I'd throw a coat over that. But that's how it's going to look from the front. Right there. Nice and good looking once more. Rear one, there's a rear one all the way over here. If I can readjust myself. without touching that plate. The plate's not fully cured yet. It's not fully cured, so I don't want to touch it as less. I want to touch it as less as possible. So I could see this right here. See what I missed? It wouldn't have probably covered that very good anyways. This paint was like just not very thick in coat. So I mean, it was super thick, but didn't want to cover. The coverage kind of sucked. So let me just tighten this sucker up. Yeah, it really bums me out that nut actually the welds broke off. So now I got to work with 3 bolts, which is fine. It's probably all this thing needs. Let's come to over here. You know, I should probably lube up these threads. Don't want to go too tight. But there we go. There you have it. Nice transfer case skid plate, scrape plate. I like that. It's looking quite good. As you can see, that one right there. Looking pretty well, pretty good. Pretty good. Now the transfer case is nice and safe. Ooh, I didn't even notice that big gash. That gash must have been there from when this thing exploded. This gash right here. See if I can focus it. Yeah, it's a pretty big gash. Anyways, I'm happy with the finished product on that. Now the rear diff is all dried out, all dried. Looks a bit cruddy back here. That's just because the texture on the diff itself, but it is all nicely painted and nicely dried. So let me just show you the back part again. That's what it's looking like under there now. Pretty fresh. Pretty darn fresh. It's both sides. Looking pretty nice, man. I am super happy with that right there. Looking very nice and clean. I'm happy with how this Jeep is coming along quite nicely. Pretty dang nice looking. Happy I have all 5 of the wheels and tires all matching. It's been a good amount of money put into this Jeep. Very good amount. Alright, well that's about it for this video on Fun and Automotive. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Quick, easy video, get some content out there. The rear diff really did need that painting. The rear axle, period, all that needed a good paint job. The scrape plates really needed it too. They were done for. You guys saw for yourselves. They were nasty and really used. So yeah, I'm happy that I did that, and I'm happy you guys were here to watch it. So as you know, this is Fun and Automotive, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Goodbye.